All of a sudden just got warm, didn't it though?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You are on, hon.
All right.
After a little technical difficulties
Let's
there.
go. I am Linda Deer, and this guy right here.
Hi, I'm Ray, and I'm a Lindaholic. Been a Lindaholic for 16 years.
Man, Ray.
I swore off all those other girls 16 years ago.
You did what?
Swore off all those girls.
What does that mean?
Never even thought about them again.
Oh.
When I met you, I became a Lindaholic.
Isn't he funny? The guides always said, Ray will always be funny.
I got my 16-year pin. You know how they wear it?
Yeah. Well, we're not getting rid of you, Ray, because you're a vital asset to the whole cause. All right. We're going to keep Ray around, guys. All right. And I just want to say that we are always so happy to be with you guys on Tuesdays, to be live with you, to help you guys understand what each one of these Linda weekly guided insights holds for you. These are timely and they're channeled from my spirit guide angels about navigating you through the uncertain world that you're now living in. All right. There's no reason to feel like you can't handle it or you don't know what to do next when you get these insights. And when you join us every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Pacific time, we're here to help you. All right. So, and I want your questions and comments tonight. In fact, we got quite a few comments on this one today. We're going to be sharing those with you guys. All right.
And we're live on Facebook and YouTube, and
Great,
they can put their comments in there.
So I'm going to start this each week in Linda's weekly guided insights. I ask my spirit guides, what's the most important thing for you guys to know right now? We channel these insights using Ask the Universal channel, the same way your spirit guides and angels interact with you in a personal coaching session with me. You can find the link to the coaching session in the description of this video. Tonight, the spirit guides will be talking about who will help you through the increasing chaos. This was published today in Linda's weekly guided insights. You can get these insights by going to my website, lindadeer.com, and you'll see it right at the top of the page. Sign up for free. It says, what are Linda's weekly guided insights? It'll take you to the page to sign up. Using the search term Linda Deer, you can join me on my Facebook page, my Facebook timeline, and my YouTube channel. And like always, Ray, what would we do without Ray? He will be monitoring the feed for your questions and comments. So let me know what's on your mind regarding tonight's insight. All right, let's get these pages right. Who will help you through the increasing chaos? For most, this was the first time you were subjected to a lockdown and having to shelter in place. At first, once the shock wore off, people looked for ways to distract themselves away from the fear. It was a novel thing. The mask, the social distancing, working from home, and then came the protests. But what if this is just a precursor to what will become the norm in the future? Suppose the economy takes longer to recover than what people think. What if the virus comes back repeatedly or cycles again and again, like other viruses do? What will people do to help themselves get through these new and uncertain, chaotic times? It will require a complete change of how you lived your life from before. People will finally realize that wasting time is wasting their life. So what they're really saying here, this is just a little excerpt from the insight. I'm not reading the whole thing. I'm trusting that most of you get these insights. Make sure you sign up for them. But the part where people will finally realize that wasting time is wasting their life is the life before this year started. People were caught up in distractions and sports and vacations and spending money and weekend stuff going on all the time, spending money they didn't have, overextending themselves, and still feeling a lack within themselves. All right. So when you get now that you've got your time back, you've got some of your time back, how are you using it? How are you applying it to learn about yourself, to find out what's really important to you, to shake out what matters the most and start living from that? Like instead of going out to eat all the time, that's just one thing. You will lose weight. When you eat at home and you eat the food that you make, it's healthier, it's safer, and you don't eat as much as when you go out and you get these great big monstrous, plates of food. And most of it is not organic. It's not the kind of food you should be eating. It's convenient, you know? So there's a lot of that. So it's a lot of wasted time is what it is. And when you get your time back, the only thing you guys have in this world is your time. You can't take the money with you. People got overinvested in, making money, having money, more money, And what did it didn't give you your time back. It cost you your time. And all it did is it armed you with more ways to fund your distractions. So Ray, who do we have with us tonight?
Well, we have a full house here. We have Melanie. Hi, Melanie. Haven't seen you in a while.
Great, Melanie.
Stacy Bauer says, howdy from Texas.
Stacy.
Howdy, darling. Banya is here. Jay Handy's here.
Jay
and
I
Ray.
had a feeling Jay was going to be here
Jay
tonight.
and Ray are here.
So Jay, here's what I got to just talk to
And
Jay.
Jaime and Nancy Schaefer.
Who?
Jaime and Nancy Schaefer.
Nice, great to have you all. And Jay, I want to say something to you. I envision this when I think of you joining us, and isn't he Eastern time? Central. So you're 2 hours ahead. You're 8:09 or so. And Jay is a beautiful artist. He has a beautiful studio where he does his art. And I see Jay having his computer there, us live with him, but he's sitting there doing his art while we're live with him. I kind of feel him doing that.
He's getting inspiration.
Yeah, you just feel good. All right. So I kind of feel that with you, Jay. Let me know if that's true.
A lot of famous people have Jay's works in their collection, like Ray and Linda.
We do. We do.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we had some comments this morning. We had actually 2 good ones.
Okay, go ahead. They're always good ones.
Well, 4 comments if you count your responses.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so that's 4. Viola, she always sends a comment because she's sleeping now.
Why?
Because she's in the Netherlands.
Well,
she's in the Netherlands in Dreamland. Those Netherlands too.
Yeah, but she'll see it in the morning. She always watches the video of us talking with you guys about when we answer the questions, when their guides interact with them. Go ahead, Ray.
All right. Viola says, hi, Linda and Ray and the Spirit Guides. Thanks again for this great insight. I always listen to your insights because they keep me going for the next week.
Now, I want to say something. When we do these insights, I post the video that we're doing right now as a replacement for the trailer that's on the insight, actually on the page. And underneath the video is the audio. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's the audio of this session. And all you do is click on it and you can download it to a device. You can take it to the, if
put it on your phone.
Yeah, wherever you're going to be, you can listen to it anywhere. It's almost like a podcast. So it's there for you guys.
Or they could just watch the video and close their eyes, and that would be like a podcast.
Okay, but you don't have to sit in front of your computer if you don't have time.
All right. Walking the dog.
Go ahead, Ray.
All right. So it keeps you going for the next week. The questions that the guides ask always trigger me. What things have I done in the past to take my mind off the things I disliked? People avoid things.
Right.
The problems, I lost myself in shopping for clothes.
This is the old normal.
The old normal, yeah. Consumerism, shopping for clothes, going out to eat for food, and booking way too expensive holidays. Trying to run away.
Right.
That's what people wait for they wait for their vacations, so they can get away from the job they hate.
Keep going.
The problems never disappeared by doing all this.
Right.
Ha. Jeez. What I'm wondering is what the guides would say about daydreaming. I love daydreaming. I do it so much, especially now. Well, she has more time now. Being the job that I do not like. I kind of float. That's a good way to explain it. She floats to a happier, fulfilling life in her daydreams. She also likes discovering nature and traveling. She'd love to travel the world and discover the beauty, smell the air, hug the trees, walk around, be silent, and take photos. What do the guides have to say about that? Will that be possible? Will that still be possible in the future, the new normal? Thanks again. Lots of love from the Netherlands.
And what did I say?
Linda Deer responded and said, everything you talked about in your comment nails it. Like most people, you have struggled with the same distractions and temporary pleasures in an attempt to escape the life you were expected to live, where you can't be who you are.
That's the whole problem.
That's what's missing for most people in their job, their family, their friends, and society. The spirit guides will answer your questions in tonight's live event. Look for their response in the video above.
Okay, and that'll be posted by tomorrow,
Right.
on the page where this post is. But what's the last part of that again? Where
When you answer her, the spirit guides will answer your questions in tonight's live event. Look for their response in the video above.
just before that, what is it?
Right. Like most people, you've struggled with the same distractions and temporary pleasures in an attempt to escape the life that you were expected to live, where you can't be who you are.
Okay, that's the worst. If I was to say what's the worst thing that could happen to you in your entire life, it would be not being able to be who you are. It's the absolute worst thing that can happen to you in this lifetime or any lifetime, because that cuts off you can't breathe. You can't express yourself. You don't have that freedom to be what you are, okay? You just don't have it. So if you're being cut off from being who you are, that's going to be the first thing you guys need to fix. You need to fix that first. You need to start writing in your journal. I'm going to get part 3 out, the journal writing. You need to start telling yourself and reporting back to yourself, identifying where it is that you are not able to be who you are. I'll use an example before we answer this with Viola. When I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to be who I was. The family did not allow it, all right? I had to toe the line. I had to follow the rules and keep my mouth shut and just go along with what they were doing, all right? My dad even said to me one time, he said, quit being so coy. And I went, what's that mean? And he goes, speak up. He wanted me to speak louder. It's not my style to speak louder. This is my voice. I talk like this, okay? But it wasn't okay in that family for me to be who I was. So I had to constantly overcompensate to fit into what they wanted me to be until I turned 16 and got the heck out of there. And until I did that, and once I did that, everything changed for me. I mean, instantly. And I no longer had to toe the line. You know the feeling, a job you hate, a family you're in that doesn't appreciate who you are. It could be anything that just doesn't let you express yourself. Like Jay, I swear to God, you're doing your art while you're watching this. And I love it, Jay.
Getting ideas, that's for sure.
You just go ahead and do that. We love that. We love that in you. So it's about being who you are. Anytime you come and you visit with us and you express yourself, you just be all that you can. Work on being who you are. This is a safe place to do that. And once you start letting yourself have that and expressing yourself fully, pretty soon you won't put up with people who repress you. You will not tolerate it anymore, because that's what's hurting you, you guys. Okay. So let's let them answer Viola on this, Ray, okay?
Okay.
Even Ray has at times said, speak up. I go, Ray, it's not my style to scream at people, you know. I go, turn the volume up on the audio so I don't have to shout, because it's not my style. If you ever feel like you're getting boxed in and somebody's trying to force you to be something you're not, just tell them it's not who I am. Back off. Okay, here we go.
Viola, we know a lot about daydreaming. Daydreaming is very important in your life. It allows you to see infinite possibilities and probabilities. Daydreaming can show you a plan or a dream that you have or an intention. Daydreaming helps you take action toward that dream or plan. It helps you also to see past any fears you might have about taking that action. The first thing, if you want to daydream on command, is to find a place to get quiet. That's the secret to daydreaming. Getting quiet in your special place in your house or backyard, or get in your car and go to the park, but someplace that's quiet. That also means you don't take your phone.
Or at least turn it off.
You described daydreaming like you felt you were floating. That's a good analogy. Floating is much different than swimming. Swimming requires physical exertion and much strength to keep moving, while you can float a long time and just relax, looking up at the sky. So slowing down is the goal, and you're not trying to clear your mind, but you're trying to open it and allow yourself to feel and dream.
Okay. Also, daydreaming when you're floating, it's kind of like going out of body.
Yeah.
You're leaving you're leaving where you are. You're somewhere else. You're above it. You're outside of it. Okay. So that it gives you a chance to breathe and be who you are and figure out where that's taking you and guiding you. You are always being guided, you guys, all the time. So Viola is at a job that she doesn't like. So she's escaping that job. She daydreams to escape that. But it's productive if she recognizes what it's meant to do. All right. What was the other part of her comment, right? There were two parts, questions she had.
Oh, she likes to go discover nature. Oh, will she be able to do that in the
Okay,
future? That's
so
advice to
travel,
yeah.
travel is something that Viola wants to know. Will she be able to do that kind of traveling that she dreams about in the future based on our new normal? All right, here they go.
You may experience some restrictions you didn't have before, but you will be able to go to some exotic places. Just remember, you only take your phone to take photos.
In other words, don't get caught up on spending all your time on the phone, on social media, on the phone talking, and being somewhere other than where you are. Train yourself, you guys, to be present. When you train yourself to be present and you don't like where you are, if you discover that you don't like, or you don't like the people where you are, you need to, until you do something about it, you need to write down, you need to tell yourself the truth so that you do something that faces the music, that looks at how you're wasting your life and holding your breath until you can overcome it. This will get you there. Okay, go ahead, Ray.
Jay said that's exactly what he was doing.
And I love it, Jay. I just saw you doing it.
She's spying on you there, Jay.
But no, it's not the first time I felt it. I
know.
felt in the past. And I think it's great. It's just Jay uses these sessions to be creative.
Right.
That's great. Okay.
Okay, so we had another comment. There wasn't a question. It was a great comment, though. I think this is really good because it's from Mary Earhart, and she's been with us a long time, years and years.
Yeah.
And she said about today's insight. Thanks, Linda. I went back and I read your insight from 2017 on chaos and your purpose here. It was so prophetic. I'm so grateful. You're making sense when nothing else seems to.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. These guides that we channel to deliver these insights to you, they help you navigate the uncertain world that they realize that you are living in and faced with. And they're here. These insights are free. If you aren't getting them, you guys are missing out, okay? Because all along, they're preparing you for where the world is moving. So you're not caught off guard, all right?
Okay, so Linda answered Mary and said, although things seem to happen suddenly, they don't. These insights informed us all about what's really important so we can rise above the chaos and see our purpose in it. This prepares you for anything that comes along as you become your best from it. After all, what you become is the only thing you get to take with you when you leave this world. You know, you've been doing these insights now since 2014?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every week.
So there's hundreds and hundreds of them.
We've never missed 1 week.
Never missed 1 week.
Not one.
And
now you guys have.
You guys have missed a lot of them. Or there would be hundreds of people on here. Anyway, so going back to 2014, there's probably been many other prophetic insights. And she just happened to go back and read that one because it was about chaos.
Right.
And what you can do, she probably looked it up by typing in the
search.
The search term.
There's a search box, and whenever you see one of the insights coming out, like today was, if I was to use a keyword for today's insight, I would use the word chaos. And if you put the word chaos in the search on the Linda Deer website, it'll bring up all the results for chaos when it came up in one of the insights. That's where you guys can go back and go, well, darn, I can see where the guides came through and talked about it, like in 2017. We did one not long ago that they talked about what's going on in the world right now. And
that was February 2019.
And what was that insight about, Ray?
I forget the name of it, but I remember the date.
Yeah, so it's beginning to show where the insights are, from years ago. Here we are experiencing that. If only you guys knew about it and use that advice, that guidance they provided in the insight to prepare for where you are now. I'll use an example of that. Ray and I have been guided all along. We work a lot. We don't have time to go out to eat and spend our time in restaurants and stuff like that. We haven't been doing that for years, all right?
Years and years.
We've been busy working on this project. There's a lot of parts to it. There's a lot of parts, I mean, so much to it. So you guys see a little bit of it, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on the back end. And Ray and I mom and pop this thing, okay? It's just us. And it's the benefit of that is it comes out exactly the way we want. It's a perfect, the project is so good. And no one is in there messing it up.
You can't outsource integrity.
You can't, and it's been built on the platform of love and connection and truth. Okay, and that's what's the most important thing for all of us. And when I say all of us, I mean me, I mean Ray, and I mean the guides. Okay, we're in this together. This isn't just Ray and I. So it's that we've been doing this for many years. So when all this went down, guess how much it affected us? Zero, nada. Okay. In fact, it made it easier. We have our groceries and everything delivered now.
That's an amazing service.
We used to go out and actually go get those things, but we don't do that anymore. So we have even more time back to focus on what we're doing, and we need it because we're busier than ever, because people need our services. They reach out to the coaching. They reach out to me helping them with in fact, just so you guys know, I just am now in the process of developing a 4-week course where I teach you how to use the journal. You have one-on-one with me for 2 hours a month as you journal, and each week you come to me at the end of that week. You bring your writings and we go through them, and I show you what you can't see. I show you what you've been missing. I show you how it's all tied together. I show you what they're showing you and pointing you and guiding you toward. You become the word here, the roadmap to consciousness. You become conscious. You become aware. You become more alive. Okay, your life changes forever. I've been doing these, but I haven't been doing them specific to the training. But I just am developing those modules
You'll
now.
see it soon on the website.
It's on the homepage.
On the homepage.
You can actually sign up for the one that I just did called Consciousness Training with Linda Deer.
One-on-one.
One-on-one. Yeah, it's really powerful, and I get you guys through it, and I get you guys used to using this the right way, so that you become a master at using it. It's the key, you guys. Until you become conscious of what's really going on, can you understand your part in it? Okay, that's the whole key. All right.
It all has to do, people interchange the words consciousness with awareness and
Right.
being present, and
Right.
but most people, due to the distractions, they miss the guidance. That's what it says in Guided. Linda grew up realizing something that most people miss, that she was being guided all the time.
Right. That's right. So I teach you guys how to do it because, of course, I've done this my whole life. I mean, it's such an advantage. You're just not going to believe it. Okay. Anyway, it's available. Check it out on the homepage. Go down the homepage a little bit. You'll see it at the top in the navigation bars. You'll see coaching. You'll see training. Click on training. All right. Okay.
Well, let's get back to today's topic.
Yep.
It's pretty exciting. Chaos.
Yep. So what do we have?
Well, chaos.
Do we have anybody with questions
No,
right
not
there,
questions
baby?
yet. No.
All right.
But-
All right. You guys,
More
you
people
can.
join us over here.
Okay. Ask your questions around.
Doreen, Oliver, Glenda, Mimi.
You guys.
Welcome.
We love having all of you. Ask your questions about today's insight,
About chaos.
about who will help you through the increasing chaos.
All right. So what is all this chaos? Well, if you've noticed, it's coming from all directions.
It's like just as the coronavirus, and that was one. And then what happened, Ray? And then came what was the next
Well,
one?
the economic crash.
The economy crashed.
Oh.
In the world, the global economy. Holy cow! And then all the
Stay at home. Can't go anywhere.
and then the shelter in place, and then the social unrest,
Yep.
the social chaos that came out of the blue sky. Wow, what was that? Okay, it's just one thing after the other. And just today, what did you read in the news?
Just today had the lead story. Well,
Crazy
two lead
stuff.
stories.
Mother Nature's getting in this
Yeah,
game.
she's
Okay.
getting into it too. She's going to give us a good spanking here. The dust apocalypse is coming from Africa, and it's about to hit the U.S. this weekend.
It's coming up through Mexico or through the Gulf,
come across the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico,
and coming up through the U.S.
Yep, yeah. And this, if you go online and you look
It's
it up,
unbelievable. Even from space,
they see it from space.
They couldn't believe the size of this thing, you guys.
It's like this moving dust storm.
It's a monster.
And they show every place it's gone through. They show a picture like, well, here's what this place looked like yesterday in the Caribbean, and it was just beautiful Caribbean. And here's what it looks like today.
You can't
can hardly
even
see it.
Yeah, but looking down on it, you can see the mass of it.
Oh,
okay. And what else was it?
Well, the Mexico earthquake, 7.4.
Okay, come over here, Ray. Let's let the guides talk about this. Mother Nature's now kicking up her heels and saying, I want in on this thing. Okay, I want your attention. Let's see what they have to say about this, about these natural disasters. Okay.
Attention is the right word. Everything that's happening is designed to get your attention. It's designed to have you stop thinking about the old normal that everybody seems to want to come back. Was it really that good? It certainly wasn't normal. It was
the old normal certainly wasn't normal. Okay, I love that.
It was more abnormal than anything. People couldn't keep up with it.
Right.
People became overextended in every aspect of their lives, resulting in depression, illness, stress, and anxiety about the future. What if this normal continues? How much longer will I be able to survive it? All we can think about is how people had such great hopes for 2020. And then all this happened.
There's no accidents. That's what they're really saying here. No accidents, you guys. We didn't know how to stop this on our own. We didn't know how to reel our lives back in and gain control over ourselves on our own. This is the help we're getting. Look at this on the bright side. Don't look at this like you're being punished. This is not punishment. This is for your highest and best good. This is for you to get to know yourself again. This is for you to heal what's been hurting you. Okay, this is your time back.
Okay, so Melanie says, haven't heard about the storm yet. I live in Utah. Wonder if it's going to reach us here. On the map that I saw,
Let's see. Let's see how far it's going to reach into the U.S. All right, this thing's massive.
It will cut straight across the Gulf and could possibly upturn and go a little further north into the southern states, but may not reach the West Coast.
May not reach the West Coast. Okay.
Blow itself out.
Yeah.
I mean, we get those dust storms here, but not like that.
Oh, this thing's ridiculous.
We get those big curtains of.
This is from Africa.
Right.
That's
from
where
the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, it's coming from the Sahara Desert. So this is unbelievable. Okay, and what's the other thing? The earthquake?
Oh yeah, 7.4 earthquake down in Mexico.
Okay, so Mother Nature is reinforcing these changes, this new normal, this, you know, this it's coming down in dominoes. Like we said, it started with the coronavirus, then it moved through all these different things, and it's not finished, you guys. It's going to keep. This weekend we're doing our webinar. The name of this webinar is A Message from the Light Beings. The second wave of fear and confusion is coming, and they're going to explain it, and they're going to show you how to actually perceive this instead of going into fear. Okay, that is not where they're going to take you with this. In fact, they're going to do the opposite. They're going to show you the common sense around it. They're going to show you the truth that none of us can see. Even Ray and I don't know what they're going to tell you until we hear it the first time in session at that webinar.
Yeah, the second wave.
That's going to be Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So go to the website, go to my website, lindadeer.com, and click on live events, and you'll see it right there. You can watch the 2-minute or so trailer. If you're not signed up, you click the link above it and sign right up. All right.
Yeah, Kirk, Captain Kirk. Hi, Captain Kirk.
Hey.
He wanted to know about the next crash. That's probably something we're going to talk about in the website.
Yeah, it's in the webinar.
In the webinar.
Yeah, in the webinar. Again, this webinar is about the second wave of fear and confusion is coming, and they're definitely going to cover the economy.
So,
and the stock market.
Oh yeah.
This whole thing. Okay, I mean, this whole thing, you guys. I'm not going to say, because I don't even know what they're going to talk about, but I know what they call themselves in their service is truth and love. It's with love that they give you the truth. And can you handle the truth? Of course you can.
Right.
Okay.
This is something that everybody wants to know.
I know
what they talk about. I mean, we have our neighbors coming over here going, hey, what's going to happen with the stock market? Oh, Rick,
you know what I tell them?
You
know what I tell them? Sign up for the webinar. And then when he doesn't do it, I tell him, when you're in enough pain, when you take another blow in the stock market, I mean, massive blows, when that happens again, then maybe you'll sign up for the webinar. You know, it's so easy, you guys. You're not supposed to suffer. You suffer because you elect to suffer.
You create your own anxiety.
There's no reason
and
for
depression.
it. There's no reason for it. The first thing you have to do is get the anxiety out of you. Okay, how did that get there? My training will walk you through it, will identify it, so you can start healing this bloody thing. Okay, so Ray, what else do we have?
Well, we were talking about what are these people doing to get away from the chaos? Well, a lot of them, like in the big cities, like New York. Especially.
This is extremely interesting.
This
Ray did some research today about what you're not hearing in the news, okay?
Right.
And make sure you mention your source when you do this. Okay, go ahead, Ray.
Okay. Chaos. It's a 1, 2, 3 punch. Fear of the virus.
We know, we did all that.
Fear of the chaos.
Go into the statistics.
And fear of the crashing economy.
Right.
So everybody believes that, well, everybody like in New York who can afford it, the top 10%, are getting out of New York City.
In masses.
They're going to Connecticut. They're going.
Read the numbers.
Well, yeah, they're in 1 month, New York City, all the crime statistics were going down pretty well across the country until the virus hit and all the chaos started.
So they were going down over the course of what period of
Over
time?
the last year.
Okay.
So now, in the last full month, in New York City alone, murders are up 80%.
So we're in June now. That would have been May, right? Okay.
They're up 80%.
So May, let me just say this one thing, Ray. The stresses were really compounding by May, weren't they? Think about it, you guys. Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, people sheltered in place already for months, and they're driving people crazy.
Well, not only that, they're running out of money. And okay, go ahead.
Shootings were up 64%, and burglaries were up 35%.
That's tremendous.
In 1 month.
Yeah, keep going.
All right. And in Chicago, over the Father's Day weekend, the most violent day, Sunday, Father's Day, more shootings than they've had in the 60 years they've been keeping statistics.
Wow.
One day.
So how many were there?
It's like 30 or something like that.
Oh.
More in one day than they've had in 6 decades.
Yeah, and domestic violence
Yes.
has really gone up. I mean, people are when what happens is they find out when they're a family and they're sheltering in place or now isolated. If they're just the family is finally, together. I mean, before that they were off doing different things and nobody was. It was a dysfunctional family unit. But now they're forced to be together, and they discovered that they're awkward at it. They're not good at this. They've lost their sense of family, really, and their stress. The stress level is through the roof.
Yeah, the family thing is really what drives these people to want to relocate. And um,
And yeah,
the ones that can't retreat to their homes in the Hamptons
yes.
are kind of stuck because
You know what though? I will say this: these people what are they? The 1%,
the top 10%
the
of
top
it.
10%,
Right.
the other 90% get left to the chaos. All right, and you know what, you guys, this isn't going to work. I'm going to say this: that the people, that 10% that had enough financial wherewithal to take their family in retreat, um, they think they can run away from it. It's not. It's going to follow them. No one can run away from any of this. It is time. The message in all this is it's time to roll up your sleeves, all of us, and do something that's good for humanity. Do something that's good for the animals. Do something that's good for the environment. Do something that makes a difference. Why you came here, your purpose, and fulfill that. Okay? It's time to do something about it, not try to run from it. There's no place to run. This is a world global problem. I mean, this was the global economy, global was shut down. There was no place to run away from it.
There's 1.6 billion people in the world right now, due to this economy crashing, that are on the verge of losing their entire existence.
Say that again.
1.6 billion people now in the world who are on the verge of losing their entire ability to provide for themselves and their family.
Okay, what is the repercussions of that? What's the fallout from that? We haven't seen nothing yet.
Well, according to the Rasmussen reports, and this is a credible source, Rasmussen reports, Rasmussen, go look it up. They have different reports every day, primarily political, but 34% of the people they polled believe that we're going to be in a second civil war within 5 years or less in this country.
That's what the people believe.
That's what the people think.
Because of the pressure that they're under, okay? The pressure that's been added to them. They can't go to work. And if they do, a lot of the jobs now, because you can work at home, they're cutting their pay because they are not in the office and they're cutting back on their pay. I mean, this is just awful.
Well, they're giving them incentives, like in the Silicon Valley area. If they lay off thousands of people, they say, okay, don't come into work anymore. But they're still living in a $4,000 a month apartment or something like that, or sharing it with 6 other people, when they could do the same job if they don't have to come into work. They can go to Boise, Idaho.
A lot of the big companies like Facebook,
right?
They're cutting their pay
once they get out of town.
Yeah, once they're not
that's
coming.
The incentive to go to get a $1,500 apartment, not a $4,000 a month apartment. Right.
Big changes, you guys, are coming. The guys Huge. They're gonna talk about. They're gonna get into the details of this at our webinar on Saturday, this coming Saturday, at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Go to my website, live events. Sign up for it. Okay.
Yeah, adding to all this stress, there's so many people who would like to relocate, like to get out of a big city or a big urban
environment. And they can't.
They can't because the banks have tightened up the restrictions to get the qualifications to get a mortgage, and they probably don't have a job.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
They won't take the risk.
They won't take the risk.
Right. So why would you take the risk? Think about that. If the bank wouldn't take the risk on you, why would you? Why would you expose yourself to locking yourself into an investment that's not liquid, that keeps you stuck, like they're stuck now in communities that are not a good place to be? All right, stuff like that. So you guys need to, I'm just going to say it. One of the things you need to really be aware of is you need to be positioned to be mobile.
Right.
We've been told by the guides for how long, Ray?
Eight or 9 years.
8 or 9 years. They said, whatever you do, position yourselves to be mobile. We'll let you know if it's time to pull up roots and move on. All right.
Which they've done.
They've done
twice
it
now.
They've done it twice. Ray and I aren't big movers. We don't move all the time, but boy, this has changed everything. And you know what? When this all went down, we couldn't have been better positioned if we planned it ourselves.
Yeah,
Which we didn't.
What's more inconvenient than somebody telling you, "Hey, you got to pack up all this stuff and move"?
Oh shit. When it was time to do, we won't go into the details of it, but it was a lot of work and it was inconvenient.
Yeah,
You guys, you will find out that some of the stuff that you have to do to get yourself in a situation where you're going to be okay, you're going to be fine, is going to be inconvenient because you've got to let go of some of the stuff that's dragging you down, that's keeping you rooted.
Right.
It's not to your best advantage anymore. Not anymore. All right.
It's stuff you bought that you didn't really want in the first place, and you never used it after you bought it, and it's just a good thing you're married to the garage sale king.
You don't know it until you get through it. I'm telling you that you won't see it until you see it, until you happen to be positioned right because you followed your guidance, and oh my God, I have nothing to worry about. Now that's different.
Well, I mean, you don't realize how much stuff that you have until you start having to downsize. We've downsized massively twice.
Oh man.
Twice now. Over the last 10,
Ray and I
years?
had no clue what we were in.
What, you mean everybody doesn't have 2 houses and 5 cars? Huh?
This is nuts, you guys. It feels so much better. Like, wow, you feel so much better once you finally lift the load off of you, and I can help you with that. Look on my website, lindadeer.com. Go down the page a little bit and go to, in fact, it's right at the top in the navigation, training, and check it out. I just got that one up.
That just went up today.
Yeah, I just finished it today.
Yeah.
So, okay, Ray, did we cover everything that you had?
We did. We covered all the notes, and we got a lot of words from our sponsors.
We've got a few messages there on the screen, Ray. On the screen.
Yep. We always covered all those.
We did.
It's time to roll up your sleeves and do the things you came here to do. Well, what did I come here to do to roll up my sleeves for? You're going to find that out
on Saturday. Sign up for the webinar.
Yeah.
Webinar. Okay. Live events on lindadeer.com. All right. I'm going to go through some of that right now. Now we're going to do the closing message from the guides.
You want to do that first, or you want to do the announcements?
I always do the announcements.
Yeah, we can't let our sponsors down.
If I do this first, they'll leave.
Oh, that's like keep them here till the end.
What are you thinking? Good. What the heck, Ray?
That's like people trying to sneak out before the movie's over.
I'm glad I'm the one that structures these things.
Me too. I'm glad that you're running the show.
Okay. Join me June 30th. I will be streaming live on my Facebook page, my Facebook timeline, and my YouTube channel. Use the search term Linda Deer. This will be a Q&A and commentary for next Tuesday's Insight, published in Linda's Weekly Guided Insights with me, Ray, and the Spirit Guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so don't miss it. In Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, my Spirit Guides will be talking about expectations will fog your vision in 2020. Think back to December 31st, 2019. What was going through your mind? If you were like most people, you were already struggling, unable to keep up. You were telling yourself, thank goodness 2020 is here. It could never be as bad as 2019. I'm glad that year is over. You went into 2020 cheering and reveling in the possibilities that 2020 would be the best year for you. The year that you would reach your goals, starting with your resolutions. 2020 would be the year that you'd work on your dreams, and you assumed much about the new year. Even with all that anticipation and hope, by the time you were 2 to 3 months into 2020, you were totally blindsided. So to start getting Linda's weekly guided insights, including this one coming out Tuesday morning of next week, delivered to your email box every Tuesday for free. That's crazy. Get it, you guys. Sign up. Look for the link in the description of this video. And sign up for our webinar this Saturday, June 27th, entitled A Message from the Light Beings. The second wave of fear and confusion is coming, with Linda Deer, Ray Holly, and the Light Beings. Find out how to put the fear and confusion into perspective as these light beings inform you about the second wave. And like we said before, they're going to cover the economy. They're going to cover all kinds of things that you guys really can't see, that they can see, that we can't see. All right. It'll be the first time Ray and I hear it too. So look for the link in the description of this video to sign up. All right, now this coming Thursday at June 25th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, join us on our Facebook private group, Ask the Universal Channel. The teachers of Ask the Universal Channel will be performing the following. Veronica's spirit guides will examine why people need others more than ever before and the benefit thereof. Kathy's spirit guides will be talking about caring more for yourself. Joy's spirit guides will be talking about how asking questions is a way to find answers. Everyone wants answers. They will keep teaching you the best way to ask questions. They, meaning her guides. They're going to talk to you about that. Okay, this event will be hosted by Linda Deer and Ray Holly. Look for the instructions on how to join this private Facebook group in the description of this video if you're not already a member. All right, and I just want to say, if the work that I do, if the books that I write, if the insights that you get and share your time with us on Tuesdays, the webinars that I do, the training, the coaching, everything that we do, if it helps you in any way, please tell your friends. This is all about word of mouth. My guides told me from the beginning of this project, it will be through word of mouth that you will be found, and you can reach the ones who can be helped. Okay, so be sure to share it with your friends. We're going to go ahead and close this session with our closing message to you about who will help you through the increasing chaos. And here they go.
You must look inward in order to find who will help you through the chaos. Once you realize who you are and what you are capable of doing, can you find like-minded people to help move forward into the new normal, which will be nothing like the old one. What this chaos has done is that your fragilities have been exposed. All of them.
All of them.
Economic strife, discord, anger, and hatred now divides you. Every empire followed this same course, and a house divided is sure to fall. We see a bleak future if humanity continues down this path. It is time to choose. Do you take responsibility for yourself and your fellow man? Or will you follow along with someone else's agenda?
Like lemmings off a cliff. Think about that.
Yeah.
It's a choice, you guys, and it's showtime. You've had enough of the other to see what it was like so you can be okay with letting it go. And there's no place to run, like the 10% that have the money to run. They have no place to run. It'll all catch up to them, just like it's catching up to everybody. There is no place to run. It's time for us to do our part, you guys. But you got to learn who you are. You've got to be who you are. And then you won't come off with so much, you won't be in reactionary mode, is what I want to say. You'll be in action. You won't be reacting, because that's what's wrong. That's not working. Just reacting and just freaking out, that doesn't work. That doesn't bring us together. Okay?
People who
The
can't.
guides are going to help you with this on Saturday. Let me stay with this, right?
Mhm.
On Saturday at the webinar, they're going to help you with this. Sign up for that webinar. Okay? Let it go. Right. Let's close this. Okay?
Mhm.
We'll see you guys this weekend at the webinar.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Good night.